Once upon a time, there was a learned monk, extremely wise and very humble. He was traveling the world, and on his journey, he decided to take a halt near a village. Well, his reputation preceded him, and people from all nearby villages started to approach him. Some with food and clothes to make sure that his stay is as comfortable as possible. And as we could have expected, many people approached him with their problems as well. Before noon, there was a long queue waiting to meet him. Being a monk, it was his duty to help everyone. So he offered his advice and possible solutions to everyone to the best of his knowledge. A farmer from a nearby village heard about the monk. He had experienced a lot of pains and problems throughout his life, from finding a good job to bringing food to the table. Sometimes the crop would get destroyed due to the lack or excess of rain, and other times he would just not find a good buyer for his crops. He had spent his whole life in problems and struggles. He was looking for some peace and happiness in his life, and this monk could help him find all the solutions. So he immediately set out to meet him. The queue to meet the monk was very long, and by the time the farmer reached the monk, it was almost sunset. Farmer told his whole story to the monk, and the monk listened patiently. After listening to all the farmer's problems, the monk thought for a while and said, "As it is already very late, I'll give solutions to all your problems in the morning." Also, the monk asked for a favor. Someone had gifted the monk few camels. The monk asked the farmer to make sure that all the camels sit and rest throughout the night as they had to start the journey next day. Once all the camels are sitting, the farmer could go to sleep. And next day, before leaving, the monk would answer all his questions. Well, obviously, the farmer agreed and the monk went to sleep. At the break of the dawn, the monk went to see the farmer. The farmer looked exhausted, his eyes red, and looked like he'll faint any moment. The monk asked him what happened, and the furious farmer replied, "What kind of job you gave me? I struggled the whole night. If one camel would sit, the other would get up. There were few good ones who sat on their own, and there were some who sat after small convincing. But few of them were so adamant that they did not listen at all. No matter what I did, they were just not ready to sit. Most of the time, I was worried about the sitting ones. What if they also get up? And I didn't get a single second of rest. Forget about sleeping. I am tired and exhausted like never before." Listening to the farmer, the monk asked, "So, what do you learn from this?" And the confused farmer replied, maybe never to go to a monk." The monk smiled and said,
That our problems are just like these camels. We all have a bunch of them. There are few problems that we can solve if we actually work towards them, like taking care of our body and our mind to prevent or deal with any physical or mental pain, by taking care of the people around us to make sure that we have healthy relationships, and doing any job to the best of our capacity to keep progressing on the path of life. These are the things that are totally in our hands. But then there are few things that no matter what you do, you cannot change them. Just like the advent candles. No matter what you do, things are out of your hand. Like any natural calamity, just like any pandemic, or maybe loss of your loved ones, or maybe anybody doing or saying any bad things to you. There's nothing that you can do about it. You cannot change the outside world. The only way forward is to accept the situation and work your way around it. The sooner you accept, the faster you'll be able to relieve yourself of the pain. Last but not the least, and the best ones, are the problems that exist only in our head. Half of the problems that are there in our head never exist. So cross the bridge when you get there and stop worrying about what ifs. What if this go wrong? What if that go wrong? What if sitting camels also get up? You spent a sleepless night trying to make all the camels sit. but that never happens. If one camel sits, the other gets up. And that's how life is. Ups and downs are inevitable part of our life. Life is all about how smoothly we ride these ups and downs of life. Happiness is not the absence of any problems, but it is the ability to deal with them.